Buongiorno, welcome back to my channel. Today is all about spring and I am going to share with you my top 10 spring fragrances that I would highly recommend you to try if you didn't already. These are your beautiful spring uplifting floral fragrances. Just all of them are like screaming spring to me, and I made sure to cover all price ranges, so I have affordable, designer, and some niche. So if you want to know my top 10 spring fragrances, then please keep on watching. But before we start, if you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Noura, and on this channel I mostly talk about fragrances. So if you are a fragrance lover, then please consider subscribing and also hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Also follow me on Instagram, where I post some exclusive content that I don't do here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's start. Let's start with my honorable mentions. So yeah, I cheated just a little bit, but I have to talk about these three fragrances, and the only reason that they are honorable mentions is because they are unique and newish to my collection. So I tried them, I love them, but they are not your typical spring fragrance. So let's start with the first one and you will know what I mean. This is Cartier Carat. I find Cartier fragrances a little bit challenging, but this one I just adore. I am so happy that one day I went to the store and just decided to test it because this is gorgeous. Now, this is not everybody's cup of tea because this has floral notes that are not your typical ones. So it's not rose, jasmine, tuberose. No, this is hyacinths, narcissus, tulip. It has also a little bit of mimosa and violet, a bouquet of these flowers that are not your typical ones. What I mostly get here is hyacinths, and it's so beautiful. It smells like a bouquet of white flowers, and it's so natural, it's so feminine and delicate and innocent in a way. It's just gorgeous. Has a very good performance, I mean, for a floral fragrance. So it has a moderate longevity and sillage, and I just can't get enough of it. It has a slight green touch to it, but not that it's a green fragrance, but some notes used here, like for example mimosa and others, have a green edge to them. It's more on the mature side, and I would say it's not a safe blind buy. Not because it's old-fashioned or vintage or anything like that, but it does have this mature vibe to it. I absolutely love it, and I would highly recommend you try it because in my opinion this is an underrated fragrance for sure. So that was Cartier Carat. And if you like the fragrance that I'm going to talk about now, I think you will also like Carat, and that is a Drop the Easy from Issey Miyake. This came out last year. And it's again this very delicate, feminine, innocent fragrance, but in a different way. This is mostly a powdery fragrance with a lot of, again, this unusual florals with a beautiful lilac note. It's so beautiful. It has also rose and jasmine and orange blossom, but to me, this is a powdery lilac fragrance. It has also almond milk that I personally can't get, and it's so gorgeous. When I wear this fragrance, I feel like I am on clouds, literally. During winter, I used this one as a bed scent, but now that spring is here, I am wearing it constantly because I just love it, and I find it quite suitable for this time of the year. It has a good longevity, but projection is not really great. It has kind of a weak sillage, so it's more of an intimate fragrance. People have to be really close to you to smell it. It's a fragrance that you would wear for yourself. And really, this makes me feel so good. You can't even imagine. A beautiful fragrance that also I find quite underrated. I don't find a lot of people talk about. So that was a Drop the Easy from Issey Miyake. Third honorable mention goes to Gucci Flora. I have the Eau de Toilette, but I would recommend the Eau de Parfum because it's stronger. And I like it a little bit more, let's say. The thing is that this fragrance is discontinued. You can still find it, but it's really getting hard to find it. And this is for osmanthus lovers. And if you don't know how osmanthus smells, it's a flower that gives you a little bit of a fresh apricot-y feel, and in some cases a little bit of a leathery feel. Here with Gucci Flora, it's mostly about apricot, so don't worry, it doesn't give any of this leather feeling that sometimes osmanthus gives. And this is just a fresh, uplifting spring fragrance. So beautiful and easygoing. This is something that you would grab on your everyday without thinking. And I don't know why Gucci decided to discontinue this one, because it's really a good one. But again, I think osmanthus is one of these floral notes that not everybody likes. So try to sample this one, and if you like it, definitely get it now before it's totally gone. It has also some other florals, I mean rose, peony, but osmanthus is the star of the show here. It has patchouli in the base. Such an unusual, fresh floral fragrance in my opinion. So that was Gucci Flora. This is the eau de toilette, but I would recommend the eau de parfum. Now let's get to my top 10 list. And the first one will not be a surprise for anyone. These are not ranked, by the way. And that is Roberto Cavalli Paradiso. It's mostly a jasmine fragrance, but with a woody undertone, but it's with a unique woodiness, because this is not like your sandalwood or cedar. No, this is cypress and pine, and it's so beautiful and uplifting. The perfect spring fragrance in my opinion. They have quite a lot of flankers of this one, but for springtime I would recommend the original Paradiso. This definitely smells more expensive than what you are paying for, especially that it's almost always on discount, almost half price. So with that price, you can't go wrong. It's a beautiful, beautiful jasmine fragrance that I would highly, highly recommend. Roberto Cavalli Paradiso, good performance, by the way, has quite lasting power. I would say moderate to long lasting, and has moderate to strong projection. So it checks all the boxes in my opinion. Since we talked about jasmine, I will go through all the jasmines that I have here, and of course I can't not include this one. This is a Jasmin des Anges from La Collection Prive from Christian Dior. This is jasmine mixed with some apricot, osmanthus. So it has this fruity touch, but it's not your typical fruity jasmine, because the choice of adding apricot here is really, really unique, and I love it for that. It has also a musky base, but it has this creaminess to it, and it's not overly sweet. It's just stunning. I love this one. One of my favorites from the private collection from Dior, and it's, I think, my first one from that collection. It was almost love at first sniff for me with this one. Beautiful, fruity, apricot-y jasmine. Such a stunning fragrance, and I absolutely love it. It has a very good performance. It's moderate, a little bit more than moderate longevity and sillage, but let's stick to moderate anyway. And so it has also a good performance, and I absolutely, it's so good. Just smelling this one, it just gives me spring vibes. It's beautiful, stunning fragrance. So that was Jasmin des Anges. By the way, I did a buying guide on all the La Collection Prive from Christian Dior fragrances, so definitely check it if you are curious about that collection. I will leave it linked in the description down below. I will also leave it in the eye up here. Next jasmine fragrance, again, will not be a surprise for anyone who knows me, because this is one of these fragrances that you would grab if your house is on fire, and that is Jasmin's Marzipane. Oh, so good. This is the best jasmine fragrance, hands down. No doubt about it. Best jasmine fragrance ever made. Don't be fooled by the name. It's not a gourmand. It's kind of a slightly sweet, woody jasmine. So difficult to explain because if you look up the notes, it doesn't give you an idea of how this one smells. It's just, oh, intoxication in a bottle. Very sexy. So for Jasmine's lover, you have to have this one in your collection because this is the best of the best. Has a very, very good performance. I wouldn't say it's very long lasting or it's extremely projecting, but it does project immensely. Immensely first hour, and if you overspray maybe for 2 hours, like immensely. It's really, really strong sillage. It just dries down to more of a moderish sillage. Beautiful fragrance. Highly, highly recommended. And I didn't tell you from where it is. This is from the private collection from Lancome, so La Maison Lancome. Love the bottle, love the scent. It's just the best. Jasmin's Marzipane. Now let's get to another fragrance that I definitely always associate with spring, and that is Chance au Tendre. This is the eau de toilette. I mean, the difference between the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum when it comes to the scent itself is really minimal, so go with either of them. This is a fruity floral done in a Chanel kind of a way, so it's very elegant and very sophisticated. Also in a Chanel style that you can pick up really the notes. You have here quince, jasmine, hyacinth, musky base. This is what you get. For me, at least, this is what I get. So a floral muskiness. It's slightly sweet, but not too much. Very girly, very beautifully done. It's called Eau Tendre and the name fits it perfectly. It's a little bit girly, it's more juvenile in a way, but not that older generation can't wear it. It just has this very uplifting, youthful vibe to it that I absolutely adore. Now, if you are on a budget and you love the scent, then go for Éclat de Fleur from Lanvin. It's quite similar to this one, actually a dupe of this one. However, definitely you smell this is a better quality, I have to admit, but the scents are quite similar. So if you are on a budget and you love this scent, definitely get Lanvin Éclat de Fleur. I actually have a comparison between this one and Éclat de Fleur that I didn't upload yet. If I upload it before this video, I will leave it linked in the description down below and also in the eye up here, so go check. Talking about longevity on this one, it's not really long lasting. It's weak to moderate. Yeah, it's really, when it comes to performance, it's really lacking. I personally don't care, love the scent anyway, and I just reapply it during the day. But if performance is an issue for you, then this is not it. Not even the eau de parfum performs much better, let's say, than this one. So that was Chance au Tendre from Chanel. Now from Chanel, let's get to Dior, and definitely Dior for me is the brand that represents spring the best. I mean, Rose and Rose is absolutely blooming, blooming bouquet. All of them are great. Also in their private collection, they have quite a selection of spring fragrances. But this time I decided to go with this. This is the new Miss Dior. And I feel like a lot of YouTubers, and me included, trashed this fragrance because we compared it to the original one. And what happened is that I bought this by mistake, and I don't know, I started loving it. It wasn't a bad fragrance right from the start, I never said that. But I really like it. Do I prefer it to the original one? Well, they are quite different. They are different fragrances. This is a fruity floral, and it's definitely more youthful than the original one. And this is why I consider this one a beautiful spring fragrance. It's very floral, it's very spring-like, you know, like flowers that are blooming. It's fresh, it's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit sweet. Life is good, you know. It's very, very, very fun and uplifting, but still in kind of an elegant way. So it has your usual florals. So you have rose, you have iris, peony, lily of the valley, with a peachy, apricotty fruitiness, with this beautiful musky vanilla base. Is it my absolute favorite fragrance of all time? I wouldn't say that. But it's a good fragrance. So I would say just try to ignore the name and judge it only by the scent. It's really good. It has also on my skin beautiful performance, and even better on clothes. It doesn't project much. I would say it's kind of a moderate sillage, but on me this is quite long lasting, and on clothes even better. So for me, performance on this fragrance is absolutely stunning. I also love Rose and Roses, but that one really doesn't perform well at all on my skin. They are coming out though with a new version, a new flanker of Rose and Roses, so we shall see. But for now, I would recommend the new Miss Dior. Now let's move to Chloe. And Chloe again is one of these brands that I feel is very, very spring-like most of their fragrances. But the one that I chose is the newest one. This is Chloe Naturelle. This came out last year, and the main note here is mimosa. It's also rose, but I personally get more mimosa than rose. And if you don't know how mimosa smells like, it's a little bit powdery, slightly sweet, and has this sharp green edge to it. And this is why it's not everybody's cup of tea. Either you love mimosa or you hate mimosa. If you love it, you will also love this fragrance. And for me, it's again something different. So not your typical fruity, floral, rose, jasmine. I mean, this is something a little bit different, and it's very, very fresh. It's amazing. They actually came out with this one during winter, and I don't know why, or was it autumn? I don't remember, but definitely a spring fragrance. I have a full review on this one. I will leave it again in the description and in the eye if you want like a real detailed review about this fragrance. However, I have to mention that longevity and sillage is not really good on this one. So it's a fragrance that you have to reapply during the day. If you don't mind that and you love mimosa, I would highly, highly recommend Chloe Eau de Parfum Naturelle. Now let's move to Givenchy. And the fragrance that I would definitely consider for spring is Givenchy Irresistible. This is the Eau de Parfum, the original one. They came out with an Eau Fraiche and an Eau de Toilette version. I have a review of the whole line. Again, you will find it in the description and in the eye up here. And although I like the Eau Fraiche, I definitely prefer the Eau de Parfum. However, the Eau de Parfum for me is early spring, so in the days of spring that is not really, really hot. And when it's more of a sunny, hot spring day, I go for the Eau Fraiche. And this fragrance is all about a sweet rose with iris, so it's a little bit powdery, and a musky base. It's a very, very happy, vibrant fragrance that I would consider also for younger generation. So it's a fragrance that everybody can wear. It's so fun and uplifting and happy. The sweetness comes from a pear note, so if you love your pear in fragrances, then definitely check Givenchy Irresistible. Very, very good performance. However, it's quite sweet. So if you don't like sweet fragrances, then avoid this one. Pear note is really amped up here, but I absolutely love it. As I said, I gravitate towards this one a little bit in like normal, let's say normal spring days, but when it's more of a hot spring day, I go for the Eau Fraiche, but you can't go wrong with this one. So this is a Givenchy Irresistible. Now, the next fragrance is definitely on the bougie side. This is a niche one, and I absolutely love it. This is Cassili from Parfums de Marly. Yes, I know everybody talks about the Lina. This is my favorite one, not the Lina. And this is more of a tropical yellow floral fragrance. It's sweet, there is plum, frangipani, vanilla, red currant. It's just so beautiful, very flirtatious, very happy. Again, an extremely happy fragrance. As you can see, the smile on my face when I smell this fragrance, it brings happiness to me. I absolutely love it. And the reason why I decided to include it in spring fragrances is because for summertime, it's a little bit too sweet for me, for my liking. But I know that a lot of people would wear this one during summer, no problem. As you all know, during like summer, I can't handle any sweetness. I have to go for fresh citrusy fragrances. But I know this is just me. Absolutely love it. It's expensive, yes, but in my opinion, it's worth it. It's very long lasting, quite projection. Not that it's a beast mode, I wouldn't say that, but it has amazing performance and amazing scent. So it checks all the boxes for me. It's just a happy, uplifting, flirtatious fragrance that I absolutely love. So that was Cassili from Parfums de Marly. Next fragrance again would be not a surprise for a lot of you because I talk about this fragrance quite a lot. That is Prada La Femme. This is so underrated. I mean, it was a while that everybody talked about it and then nobody talks about it anymore, and I can't see why, because this is a gorgeous scent. This is again a yellow flower. It's slightly sweet, but not like Cassili. It has beeswax in the notes, which makes it quite special. And it's mostly, to me, frangipani, ylang ylang. It has also tuberose, I think, and magnolia, if I'm not mistaken. But mostly I get here the frangipani, a slight and a little bit of ylang ylang, and it has this beautiful base with vanilla and vetiver. Just stunning fragrance, very feminine, very classy. This is a feminine class. This is not a flirtatious or girly fragrance. This is a classy feminine fragrance, and there is nothing like it on the market. I've never smelled anything similar to this one that I can compare it to, and for that I absolutely love it. It's really a gorgeous scent that definitely deserves a lot of hype. And it's also a signature worthy scent in my opinion. I personally love to wear it during this time of the year, so during spring, but you can definitely wear it all year round. So that was Prada La Femme. Next fragrance I also talk about so much, but I mean, this is a top 10 list, so of course most of these fragrances are the ones that I keep on raving about, and this is not an exception. This is Pivoine Suzhou from Armani Prive. This is just a limited edition bottle. This is for peony lovers. And it's again like your usual peony fragrance composition. So it's rose, peony, raspberry. But there is something quite special to this one. It has this watery aspect to it. It's slightly sweetness because there is raspberry. But I don't know. There is something special. But how it is blended and everything just to me is absolutely gorgeous. Perfect balance between freshness, sweetness, and this aquatic feeling to it. It's just a stunning fragrance, and I know that a lot of people love it because it's a bestseller from Armani Prive. Highly recommended. However, I have to mention that this is not like extremely long lasting or very projecting. This is more of a moderate longevity and sillage, but for me the scent itself is worth the money and I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite peony fragrances of all time. So that was Pivoine Suzhou. So that was it. These were my top 10 spring fragrances. I hope you liked this video and you found it helpful. Please tell me in the comments down below which one is your favorite, if any, and what is your absolute favorite spring fragrances. As usual, if you liked this video or you found it helpful, please like, subscribe. That will help me a lot and I will highly appreciate it. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you will get notified when I upload any new video. Thanks a lot for watching and see you next time. Ciao!